They're gonna come popping out of the back room because there's cameras on us. Those cameras don't work. Those cameras have cobwebs. What they've done is put the no signs, always negative signs. We're not responsible for lost or damaged clothes. Don't do this, no children, no pets. You don't know who runs this place, but your only experience with the operator is some that they told you not to do. We're gonna go visit a laundromat. If you hear that noise, it's pretty obvious that we're in Nolans because people love to make noise with their loud ass wagons. It's 12:30 and I have a flight in an hour, but I'm doing this for you.
So I always hear free laundromats. So what's in it for the landlords? Like, how is it free?
There's separate entities. You've got a landlord and an operator. You get that so far?
Yeah.
Right? So the operator is paying rent to that landlord. Your choice is to buy one from the previous operator or build one from scratch. You should never buy a laundromat. You don't need to buy them. When you find a store that is ultimately no longer serving the community and it's disgusting and decrepit in every way, and it's not just procedures, like you go to a restaurant, what are the 3 things in a restaurant you look for? Food, service, atmosphere. Right? That's it. You can argue all day whether it's a sit-down linen tablecloth and a nice $300 bottle of wine or it's a greasy spoon. It's always just food, service, and atmosphere. Mm-hmm. Okay? Which of those 3 things are the most important?
I would say food would be the most.
Of course, food. Because you go there to eat. That's why you leave the house. Have you ever eaten at a greasy spoon where it's disgusting and you tell your friends about it, but you say, man, don't go in the bathroom?
Yep.
Right? Yep. The pizza is great, but they scowl at you. It's like they're pissed off that they have to serve you pizza. Okay, in a laundromat, it's equipment. Everything else is 3% the way that a laundromat should operate, right? It's nice to have a TV in there, okay? Mm-hmm. It's nice to have air conditioning in the summer and heat in the winter, all of that. But if the equipment doesn't work, you're not gonna get in and out and do your chores. Don't forget, the consumer wants to have a washer dryer at home, they just don't. So we're providing this service for them. So 97% of this is equipment, and the stores that you scout have old equipment, it's falling apart. They're still trying to sell it for 300 grand. I've delved deep into all of these stores for sale, never makes sense. I made a call last week. The guy wanted $20,000 for his business, right? 5 minutes on the phone with the guy, never met him. He admitted it was worthless. He said, I just want to get out. So you are taking umbrage with the free word. What should I call it? DannyLovesLaundromats.com, KingofLaundry.com. It's free laundromat because we scout this horrible laundromat. We call the landlord, whether or not he is the operator, because that happens, we negotiate a lease. No one's making money in these stores, and they may not even see it. They may not even understand that they're not earning, but they're not. So we sign a lease. So that's the big question, and that's a good question. How is it free? In 3 sentences, here is what we do. Scout horrible laundromats, negotiate a long-term lease with the landlord, retool the store, and profit. So the preponderance of what you will be spending is on equipment like we talked about, all right? Now, I could expand for hours on all 3 of those. That's why I have a silly course. And when you are scouting, what are you looking for? Indications of failure. There's some of this stuff is very deep inside baseball stuff, like a leaky roof. If you walk into a laundromat and you see that the roof tiles have stains even though it's not raining, right? We like to say, roof only leaks when it's raining. So if you see that, what does it mean?
Pipes are burst or something's wrong with the...
Like I said, it's pretty deep baseball stuff. People that have seen my course understand exactly what it means. It means they're not paying the rent. How's that possible? If you're not paying the rent, do you call your landlord and say, hey man, the roof leaks? Probably not. So even if it's not raining, you see those sopping roof tile and you know there's been a problem here every time it rains. That means, again, you walk into Starbucks, does it ever have those stains on the roof?
No,
because it's a national chain and they pay their rent on time. So I teach and train and mentor all of these little things to look for. You have to understand, people buy laundromats every day in this country and all over the world. They find a broker, they buy a store, then they realize, I just got screwed. 300 grand. Maybe they have $50,000 saved. Most Americans will never have 50 grand in one place in their lives. They find that money, they've worked their entire lives, so they give it to that previous operator. Then they go to the landlord because you need a lease. Landlord doesn't even bother. He says, oh, you just bought this business? What position do you think that you're in now that you bought the business, you gave them $50,000 down, and you owe them $250,000? And you call the landlord. What does the landlord think of you?
You're an idiot.
You're an idiot. You're pigeonholed. You just bought a failed business. He might even ask some qualifying questions. Are you planning on retooling it? By the way, you, the one who bought the laundromat, has likely never stepped foot in one. When's the last time you did your laundry in a laundromat?
2 years ago?
2 years. When's the last time you ate lunch?
What the hell are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
Yesterday.
There you go. Does that mean you'd be a better restaurateur? No, it does not. But you have no experience. You don't even think about the laundromat. And most 40, 50-year-olds who have money to spend on an investment, laundromats pop in their head. And now all of a sudden, I've been doing this 20 years, and now suddenly there are all of these YouTubers who say laundromats are a great business because of X, Y, and Z. And those are real facts, but they're leaving out the figures. So you're going to spend money on a retool, okay? How much does a Ferrari cost? $4,000 a month. That's what a Ferrari costs. Yeah. If you need to make a payment on a Ferrari, your dumb ass shouldn't be driving one, right? I get the call from my authorized dealer to go pick up a Rolex that is on a list that's hard to get, and I go to get it. And when I'm on the way there, I realize that this is a big chain, the jewelry shop. They have their own in-house financing, right? 90 days, same as cash. You know what that means. It's just a $10,000 watch plus tax, whatever, and it's lovely. And I say, yeah, let's do it. Size it for me. And I said, hey, you have in-house financing. You'll give me 90 days, same as cash. Let's do that. I'm worth tens of millions of dollars. So the question might be, well, why would I do that? We'll get to that. The girl disappears into the back and she gives me a one-page form. And I don't even fill it out. I just put my social in there because that's all they really want to see. She disappears into the back room. She comes back out and she says, is this your monthly or yearly income? So I laugh and I say, well, that's investment income, but that's monthly. She says the people on the phone, they have one other question. If this is your income, why do you need credit? So I'm literally, the girl's cute and she's like 20-something years old. So I'm now going to not beg for credit, but make her understand exactly why I don't need it, but want it. So I'm excited because now this is a teachable moment for her, right? So I glance at her name tag and I look her in the eye and I say, I don't need the credit. And let's be frank, anyone who comes in here and needs credit to buy a $10,000 watch when they can tell time on their phone shouldn't be getting it. It's an oxymoron. It's a catch-22, right? By definition. Now she's really listening. And I said, I want the credit because you're giving me 90 days interest-free. You're giving me free money. What if the world comes to an end tomorrow? That 10 grand isn't on my balance sheet. It's on yours. I will pay it off in 88 days. I'll give you $3,333 a month and it will be paid off. You're giving me free money, so I will always take it. She said, that's the best answer I ever heard. And then I wanted to go further and I said, trust me, anybody who's giving you the real answer, why they need credit, you should say, stamp, no, you're not getting the watch. It's silly. At some point in your life, you become an adult and you realize, oh, I can use credit. And some people get in trouble.
So based on that, so you'd say like your ideology, your thinking is when you have a chance to use that kind of like debt in a way, like you owe someone money later on, using that is to your advantage.
You can buy a laundromat for $300,000 or get it on sale for $150,000 because it was $3,000. So people feel that way, right? My wife buys a $600 pair of shoes. Well, I buy a $1,000 pair of gaiters from my guy. There's some B-roll for you. What is this, Allie?
That's an alligator.
This is alligator? Can we try these in a 10?
That's the only pair I have. That's $4,000.
Well, why'd you say it that way, like I can't afford it? Now I'm going to buy them. I buy a $1,000 pair of shoes. Am I excited that they're on sale because they used to be $2,000? It's a perception. It's not real. Are they worth it? Are they steel-toed? Are they going to do work for you? Did they make you feel a special way? Right? Perceived value. This is industrial equipment. At the end of the day, you have this operating laundromat that has brand new equipment and it's earning you cash flow. That's what you don't get. You buy that house and you hope that that house that you spent $400,000 on today will go up in value. It's a slog. It's going to take a decade, right?
Yeah.
It could go down, but it's rare. But that's one way to invest. Now, you did that thing, or your grandparents. They have not what is substantial wealth, but they have a few dollars because they have a really nice house, right? And that takes decades and decades. What is the biggest issue with trying to buy your own personal residence today? I say this because everybody talks about real estate. Well, the biggest issue is that there are investment companies that use debt in order to scoop up every house that comes up for sale in a given neighborhood. In other words, if I want to make money in real estate, which I do, it's a long, slow slog. This is a cash flow play. These stores make money every month. So what you're doing is getting in, like you learned in grade school, running and operating the business and making money every month. You pay your bills. What do you think a typical gas bill is in a good, well-run 3,000 square foot laundromat?
$500?
If your bill at home was $500 for gas in a month, you'd probably eat the shit and then shit it out again, right?
Well, that was a load of shit.
You know,
Yeah.
Oh my God. Come on, dude. My gas bill at home is $600 a month. Tiki torches and heating the hot tub and all that kind of shit. You want a $3,000+ gas bill every month because that means you're making money. How much will your gas bill be if no one uses the machines for a month?
Zero.
Nothing. So you don't want that. Writing that check for $3,000 is great, as long as there's not a leaky pipe. It's all about the free word, free word. Nothing's free. If people are serious about owning a laundromat or two, and they find me and they say nothing's free and they move on, well, too bad. Free laundromat exists and is tried and true, and I'm closing 2-3 leases a week with my clients because they're out here doing the work. Here it is. Here's the wash zone. What's fun, unique, and different about this place? A thing that people always think, well, I'm going to build my laundromat around a check cashing store. Or why don't we sell hot dogs in the laundromat? And the soap and suds, the suds and duds, that's always been the idea. That was a chain. Serve people beer. Do one thing and do it well. Don't go f***ing around trying to sell hot dogs and beer. If you do the laundromat well enough, you make the money. None of this is hands off. You yourself will be collecting the filthy money and doing that work. There's none of that. That's another thing. Oh, it's an absentee turnkey business. Tell me where that exists and I'll go run it. Captain Steve still has to drive the boat. Let's go look at this hole. Let's see what we see. We do half of our business on Sunday and we play catch up the rest of the week. So guess what? Today is Sunday. Doesn't look real good. The neighborhood, I see low-income residences, but I don't see housing. I don't see apartment complexes. Just a quick scan of the horizon here. If you're in Colorado, there might be a mountain in the way. We're in Louisiana where it's flat, and so, yeah, you have low-income folks, and there's tons of parking here. Los Angeles, everybody drives everywhere. You go to your neighbor's house, you drive there and park in their driveway. You'd have to check into your area. You'll know the way that it works in your area. Do people drive? Do they need parking? If it's Brooklyn, New York, they throw the laundry over their back and it's not an issue at all. See what we can see. People are always worried that they're going to get caught. You know, well, what if? What's a little Korean lady gonna do to you? You know, who gives a shit? Most of the time, they're not even gonna notice you, but let's be honest, if you go in there without laundry, you stick out. Right? You see a hot girl walk down the street in a red dress, it's no big deal. But if you're at a lube oil filter shop and she comes through the back room, it's like you hear a wrench drop, everybody freaks out. It's out of place. So when you walk into a laundromat without laundry, you're out of place. So if you want to blend in, if you want an invisibility cloak, grab a laundry basket and throw some towels in it, right? If you're looking to talk to the operator and find out what they're all about, that's one thing. If you're me, you roll in there with a cameraman and a night sun and a fucking microphone. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Bees Uptown. They're open. How nice.
This is fun.
All the out of orders.
So let's do a walk around here, Dave. Thanks you. 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 One machine. No service.
This one doesn't.
We're leaking. We got washers going. This is one of the locations that Dr. Mike and I are calling on. And this is exactly what a store looks like when the planets align. Big profits, right? Making big money.
Making nothing.
What would you pay for this laundromat?
Nothing.
It would be free. Why do you think that this place even exists in this condition?
The only thing I can think of is they forgot about it, neglected it.
That's true. If we were to interview the operator, if we were to talk to the person that's running this place, they can't sell it. They can't afford to renew the equipment. And they likely purchased it from someone else for hundreds of thousands of dollars. So this cycle, sadly, just continues. And it's horrible. But it goes back to the fact that the investors that put money into these businesses don't know anything about them. They'll walk in, they'll be invited by a business broker, they'll be shown profit and loss statements, they'll peel off all the out of order signs, and they'll walk them through. They'll have their whole family in here doing wash. They come up and saying, "Thank you so much, this place is great." They will literally do whatever it takes for that moment in time. You go to visit a house for sale and they say, "Well, come by between 12 and 12:15. When do you think the train goes by in the backyard? 12:30 every day, right? The whole house shakes. If they say, "Come by at midnight," there's probably high tension lines that go over the house that you can't see at night. There's something going on. They will bring you to this place. They will spruce it up and clean the floors. But you as a potential, I keep using the word investor because you have money to spend. And you see it, and then they show you this P&L statement, and it says this place is doing $30,000 a month. There are tons of laundromats that do $55,000, $60,000 a month. That's realistic. I have friends that have 80 laundromats. They're doing $500,000 in cash every month. Real money. When you see these people out at a restaurant, your wife's wearing an evening gown, it's like, what do you do? Laundromat, oh, you're the king of laundries. There's real money to be had here. But it's free laundromat because no one should ever buy one. Nor should you build one. That'd be one of your questions that comes later. Like, what about building one from scratch across the street? Why would you when there's gold here? Do you know what the gold is?
The infrastructure.
The infrastructure. The gas, water, electric, because this store is built out. And all it needs is a refresh, a renew. People that flip homes, they always want to find the worst house in the best neighborhood. But then they'll inspect it and they'll say, oh man, the basement is full of water, there's ghosts in the belfry, it doesn't have what I need, it doesn't have the bones. You'll see these people on a lazy Sunday on the DIY network and they strip the house to the bones. And they're pissed because they're like, well, we thought it was just going to be an easy paint and tile, but it turns out we had to go down to the studs. They still make money. But the bones of a laundromat is the gas, water, electric, and it's here. And I've never, ever, ever had a landlord or an operator say, well, this place is 50 grand because you can't build it for that. You can't go to Walmart and say, hey, I like the Boston Celtics, but this shirt was made in Malaysia and it costs 99 cents. Can I make a deal? It's $14.99. The lady at the register doesn't know what the f you're talking about. You can't make that deal. But in any other business, in any other thing you do, you can make a deal. You know what a yard sale is, right? Yeah. 5 and 10, yard sale. If you had a yard sale and you had all your stuff, what would you do for pricing?
Price it up.
You'd take stickers out, like my Aunt Mary Lou does, and you'd sticker everything.
Yep.
So you just f***ed up because someone walks up and they see your old Boston Celtics shirt and it says $8, and they look at your sticker and they're a potential buyer. Finish the sentence.
They're going to negotiate lower.
No, they're going to look at the sticker and say, $8, this guy's nuts. And they might either leave or not say a word to anybody. In their mind, they've determined that you're a lunatic because you bought that shirt for 12. It's got stinky pits, and now you want 8. You'll never hear a word. So when I have a yard sale, no prices. They come up and say, hey, how much is this old washer? Make me an offer. Now who's psychologically winning?
You.
I am, because they'll say, well, I think 50 bucks. Now I'm going to get 60 out of them no matter what. Or my favorite is, how much for the stack of magazines? Make me an offer. And then grandma leaves. Swear to God. Or the little old lady that, take a dime for this? Lady, find 9 more and give me $1. No, you're crazy. And you know, off they go. I'm sitting there laughing. I love yard sales, by the way. My dad would buy stuff at yard sales, bring it to his yard and sell it. He was like a big hondola, making money that way. Hoarder. Interacting with people all day long is fun, right? Negotiating all day long is fun. Most people are scared shitless. That's why they write the prices. They say, I think, but you'll never know. That guy was a buyer for your Celtics shirt, and if he wanted to give $5, you'd never hear from him. And he might have $20 to spend, and you say, oh, you like the what do you call them?
Celtics.
You like the C's. I have some hats and some cards as well, you know, and then you pull some more out. But it literally is leaking on me.
Oh my.
Okay.
Just like you were saying.
We have a leaky roof next to the exposed electrical wires. It's not even raining outside. So this is condensation that's coming from the AC unit. Excellent. Easy fix. To finish the thing, if you want to take potential customers and take the money out of their pocket, you need to start a conversation. You need to strike up that negotiation. And doing something as simple as writing out prices. First of all, who wants to spend an hour putting prices on everything?
No one.
And then determining, like, what is this worth? That dude is, you know what I say at my yard sales? I'm like, if somebody walks up, 3 cars pull up at once, I'm like, my junk is your junk. Give me money, take it home. It's all going to be in the dumpster tomorrow. And they laugh, you know, they're like, oh man, well, where's your dumpster? You know, blah, blah, blah. But they get a kick out of that. I built a bed for my girls. I made this awesome bunk bed, and it could come apart. I made this thing from scratch. It took me like a week. All solid wood. It was awesome. So it could come apart later when they had their own rooms. And we were still bringing the pieces out. And I told Shelly, like, 500 bucks for the bed and the mattress. The mattresses probably cost us that. So there were people trying to load it into their truck when I came back out in the morning. And I was like, well, what's going on? Shelly's like, we sold the bed. And someone else just asked me about the bed. So now I'm saying, wait a minute, what did you pay? And they're like, 500. I said, no, I told my wife 1,500. So they're arguing, because I knew the first thing we brought out and people were arguing. 2 people wanted it. So I'm like, I'm not going to give it away for 500 bucks first thing on Friday morning, right? So I said, no. And the guy's literally taking the mattress away. You know, I said, no, the price is 1,500. Now it might be worth that. And I ended up getting like 800 for it. But they got mad. The woman, the guy's wife is yelling at me, like, how dare you? I'm like, lady, it ain't fucking Walmart. You know, I can do it. It's my house. I built that bed. And my wife screwed up. Shelly's like, really? The price is also determined by people's interest, right? I can't tell you how many times I talk to landlords and they say we have other interested parties. Every single time.
Yeah.
Well, every single time I hear that, I say, okay, let me know when that changes. Boop, gone. Because you don't want to get in a bidding war. There are rules to negotiation just like anything else. And the big issue is that person wants that Celtics shirt so badly that they're willing to lose because of it. They will give you $12 for a shirt that you paid $12 for 10 years ago, which is probably not bad because it's vintage.
Yeah.
You know, it's a different thing. But this place is utterly grotesque. If you scout a store and it's not too bad, you need to take the percentage at least. You need to write down how many washers there are, what size they are, and how many are broken. And that's important later because you're going to say, 10% of the equipment in this store is broken, and in 6 months or 6 years when we talk to the landlord again, they might say today, no, it's a good store, the operator's paying on time, they're great. But taking those detailed notes are important because a year from now, or 2 years, or 10 years, you say, now 80% of the equipment's broken. All this stuff can be fixed. Why don't they fix it?
Not worth the money?
It is worth the money. They just don't understand that. They're clueless. I don't know who this operator is. When you envision who's running this place, who is it?
Some random businessman.
Okay, what do you mean by random businessman?
I'd say random family man trying to start a business or something and completely neglected it and didn't understand what he was doing.
Well, most people think, you know, some immigrant from another country, you know, they have a vision of what this person looks like. They're going to come popping out of the back room because there's cameras on us. Those cameras don't work. Those cameras have cobwebs. It's obvious that they're not working. No one's eyeballing this store. But you might be surprised that the operator of this place is a doctor or a lawyer or otherwise successful business person who just had to scratch the itch to own a brick and mortar business at some point. They bought this place, never made money, never understood what they should be doing, and here we are. You know, the air conditioning is running, but on a Sunday, this place, every machine should be in use. But they can't be. How old is this out of service sign? They didn't put that on there yesterday. That's been there a while.
Now, do you ever consider fixing up the equipment, or do you just gut it completely and get your own new
What
equipment?
we would do when we sign the lease is bring the distributors in, and Laundromat is still a brand that is in use, and a good distributor will go through the machines and get them running because they're going to get your business on the new equipment. This is a $150,000 retool, and you're all in. And don't forget, what you don't know, they will try to charge you $10,000 for this machine. What is it worth? You don't know. I know you don't know, because the people I consult with who've been looking into laundromats for a decade, they simply don't know. No one knows what a top loader costs, what a tumbler costs. By the way, this is typical. They put 30-pound tumblers, which is dryers, and a couple of 50-pounders every single time. We just build the stores out differently. Behind this bulkhead, there's gas, makeup air, so that they can breathe, and exhaust. All of that exists back here, all of it. There's pipes in the ground, there's drainage troughs. This place is gold. It's got a good footprint. It's probably close to 2,000 square feet. But this young lady knows if she comes in here, she might be lucky and get a machine. You should ask her questions. What's happening? How you like the laundromat?
It used to be better.
It used to be better. I'm sure.
I'm sorry.
How could it not be better? Look what she did to my gators.
How dare you?
I'm sorry.
You have any gators?
No,
You need some gators. So where do you live? It's close.
Yeah, not too far.
Do you drive here? Okay. Do you ever come in here and you can't get a machine?
Yeah, all the time.
All the
It's the
time.
best day ever.
It's Sunday. You have a favorite machine? The one that works.
Yeah, anyone that work.
Do you have a backup laundromat if you don't come to, if you come to this one and it's
They go to one that's farther down J&B.
Okay.
But they close on Sunday.
what? I'll bet that place is a gem.
Yeah.
We do all our business on Sundays.
Yeah.
Play catch up the rest of the week. Well, thanks for taking a minute. You know, the folks just want to be able to do their chores. They just want to be able to come in, get the shit done. You never hear somebody on a cell phone saying, "Yeah, I'm at the laundromat." You know, it's not a clout thing, right? If they're at the club, they're going to tell all their friends. They're going to nobody's Instagramming. Here I am at the laundromat. You can try to say, tell everybody you're here and hashtag soapy suds, but no one gives a shit. It's a chore. And the sad truth is, this operator is not serving the community. They're just doing nothing for the community. This place is ready to fall, 100%. How could it not? It has everything going for it. I like how bright it is in here. I like the fact that the footprint is good. I like the fact that there's plenty of parking. There's so much to love about this place. What they've done is put the no signs, right? Always negative signs. We're not responsible for lost or damaged clothes. Don't do this, no children, no pets. You know, all that kind of shit. It's just, they do it because they do it. They sell a package of no signs. You know, imagine, you don't know who runs this place, but your only experience with the operator is some that they told you not to do. It's silly. You're not going to see, you know, who runs Jack in the Box? It's a bobblehead, right? That was a marketing stroke of genius. Wendy's is some gal whose dad started the franchise, we think. It's not real. It's a big conglomerate. And in this case, nobody ever says, oh, here's your founder. You know, what if this guy's a fireman? He should have a picture of himself and his family. Say, hey, this is owned by a local fireman or NOPD. You know, no one ever does it. Probably because they're scumbags and they're not serving the community. They don't want somebody to see their picture up there. Hey.
Do you ever recommend rebranding or repainting? So you said you look for infrastructure. So if the infrastructure's good, you retool so it works, everything's working well. Do you recommend rebranding, repainting?
Again, that's a corporate word. The branding doesn't matter. No one cares. I asked that gal, what's the name of this laundromat? I guarantee she doesn't know. Ask her in the parking lot when she's done, what equipment did you just use? Guarantee she won't know. She doesn't know the brand name. There's no Ferrari. There's no Mercedes. There's no Hyundai. They just want it to work. Branding doesn't matter. No one cares. If we take over a store and it has a nice, well-lit sign that says Suds and Duds or Sudsy Suds or whatever, Ed's Laundry, leave it that. Your LLC won't reflect that. Painting, though, yes. And everybody knows, hospital white. Just by painting this place white and getting rid of the urine color will make it pop more. It will make it brighter in here without fixing the lighting, which about less than 1/3 of the lights are even on in here because they have that brightness. This is a gold mine. This is what it looks like. We scoop them up. If you're fearful of walking into a store and doing the scouting, I can't speak to that. It's easy. Look, no Korean lady attacked us. She's in that little room right there. She's asleep.
I'm pretty sure this hot water heater's got a few more good years left in it.